Hello, everyone. Happy Friday night. I am actually finished faster tonight with the coaching than I originally thought. So, you know what? Friday night it is. I am going to have something I want to teach you tonight, and it's definitely something that you want to know. If you're an online entrepreneur, it is something you want to know because what is really preventing you from success in your business is the question that we ask ourselves. If you're new to me and you have never seen me before, I am Stephanie Zima. I am a mentor and transformation coach at the Walk It Free program where we heal, connect, and level up. And I help online entrepreneurs turning overwhelm into consistent sales. Now, let me tell you just a little bit about myself. When I started a business 9 years ago, I was somebody that had super great desire. Like I saw the top of the mountain. I saw that I wanted to do it. I saw the opportunity of making money online. I had little kids. I was so excited to be building something. And then what happened is life happened. And I started realizing that I was not able to do the easy things that everybody was saying I was supposed to be able to do, right? And I'm going to teach you. This is why you see my whiteboard. This is how I like to teach a lot of things. I am going to show you. Actually, we had coaching today. We talked about branding and stuff. And that is not something that I'm going to show you right now because we are going to talk about what is actually preventing us from taking the steps. Okay. So many of us entrepreneurs, we are saying, hey, let's go post. We are going to post something. We are saying, yes, we are going to try. We are excited. We are doing the things, right? We are working every single day. We are hustling. But the results just don't show, right? And then out of the sudden, what happens? When there's no results, what happens? You start feeling shame. You start feeling overwhelmed. Okay? You start feeling doubt. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not a salesperson. Maybe I don't really know how to do this. And the problem is this shame feeling that we are having comes because our mentors, like yourself, your upline, maybe if you're in network marketing, maybe your sales boss, your sales manager, people are saying things like it's easy, right? People say just do or just copy paste, right? Or just reach out to one person. Okay. But yes, when you reach out to one person only, what we are forgetting is that we are starting to feel shame because we're going to be like, wait a minute, who am I? Who am I? What is my identity? What kind of person am I? Okay. What kind of person am I? I did not sign up to be a salesperson. I didn't sign up to be, and so now your whole entire system, your whole entire body is going to start feeling scared. Okay. And when you're scared, what's going to happen? Your nervous system is going to let you procrastinate because your nervous system is having all these fires, right? It's going to be like, oh, I'm feeling shame. Oh, I feel overwhelmed because I don't know. It's supposed to be easy, but I don't think it's easy. I'm supposed to just copy paste, but what should I copy paste to? Who should I copy paste this? I just should message one person, but which person? I don't know anybody. Okay, so your entire system, does it sound familiar? Drop me a note in the comments if that is something that you have experienced, if that is thoughts that you've had, because I know I wasn't alone. I know I am not alone. And you might not be willing to support me and putting comments in here, that's fine, right? Because that could also be your shame. See, and this is, by the way, why my coaching is different and my mentorship is different, because in my mentorship, you do not have to show up, even though it's a coaching program in a group. You do not have to show up. I'm not expecting you to show up onto the live trainings. I don't expect you to show your face ever, really. I don't, because I know that shame is something that's really scary. I know that when you want to do something, but you don't feel right, okay? Because, and I always teach about the Maslow hierarchy of needs. When you're home, your environment is a mess. When your health is out of control, I'm calling this is the physical side of things. Okay. When that is a mess, you are not, your habits are out of control. Your sleep is awful. You are not being able to do the things the just as easy because you are having a mess. Maybe you are a mom trying to keep humans alive, right? Maybe you are having a full-time job and you're hustling between all these other jobs and you're having to try to pay bills. Maybe you have a husband at home that you're needing to take care of because he's sick. There's a lot of gazillion things that are playing into the environment. And when you are not organized, it's not just do that, because you forget the kind of people on your list that you're needing to talk about. If you are not organized, you are not finding it easy. And when that happens, you are going to start feeling shame. Okay. And when it's not as easy, you're also going to be overwhelmed. And then when it's not coming any results, okay, what's going to happen? You have no results. Out of the sudden, you start doubting. You are saying things like, I have no skills. Okay, I'm not a salesperson. I cannot do these things. Maybe you're saying, oh, everybody is going to ghost me, and now you fear rejection because, rejection kind of reminds you on all of the people in your upbringing that said, you should be seen and not heard. So, oh my gosh, just post something. You can see how this can have all these emotions that no one really talks about when they say, oh, it's easy. Sales is easy. Just do it very easily. Just do these things. And, here, I'm going to give it to you already. You just copy and paste, or you just involve your mentor, but you know what? It's not just, because we all have these emotions. Okay. So when your environment is out of control, you're not able to do the things that you need to do because you're still feeling shame. Okay. And you're overwhelmed and you have doubt. And then when people are ghosting you and you're fearing the rejection, this is actually where the next tier comes in, where you have safety as a need. Okay, those are all needs. Your environment, your physical health needs to be need. That's your bottom foundational need. Okay, then comes your safety needs. So safety could be financial. Okay, how many of you are in business? Think about it. How many of you are in business because you need extra income? How many of you started this opportunity, this sales job, this work from home gig, this side hustle? You call it what you want: network marketing, social selling, any kind of entrepreneurship, right? Online entrepreneurship. What is it? You started at why? Because you wanted extra money. Maybe you want to pay for certain things. You don't even want to say why you need extra money because, again, what is it all about? Okay, here is the shame. You don't want to talk about that you need extra money because, gosh forbid, we cannot tell anybody that we need extra money. We cannot tell anybody that, our life maybe have not been so great. We may have made bad choices growing up. We may have made bad choices investing or doing other things. But guess what, guys? Okay, this is all stuff that's in our head because the shame that we feel is internal. I want to tell you that 80% of Americans are in debt. Do I write it like this? I don't even know. Okay, my gosh, I'm sorry. Debt, the B-T there. See, I could say, oh, I feel shame about it. I'm not. Okay, I'm not. This is just who I am. Anyway, environment, safety, financial, right? That too. So here, now your life is a mess. And I'm sorry, I'm calling it out right now. Okay, your life is a mess. Your financials are a mess. That's why you are doing your online gig. However, shame is the first thing that pops up when you don't get the results. Okay, and then after that safety need, what is the next one? It's love and belonging, right? Belonging. Okay, so when your mentors or your uplines or your sales coach or whatever, when they tell you just do it, it's easy. If you are not doing this, then you cannot be so great. Not only are you risking your belonging because now you are not belonging to the 1, 2, 3% of top and high achievers. So what does this do? It's going to trigger shame again. Okay, it's going to trigger shame. And when you feel shame and overwhelm and the doubt creeps in, what is the result of it? Your nervous system is screaming at you and is saying alarm, 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 and it's going to shut you down. You are not able to take action. Okay, you are not able to do anything. And what do we know about no action? Right? No action equals no results. Right? Are you following me? All right. So when we look at this, we have figured out that from all of these needs that are not met in our life, we have messes here, we have messes here, we have messes here. Okay. We are creating a feeling of shame. And that's something we do not want to talk about. This is why people are not necessarily engaging with content, because God forbid, if you are engaging with the content, so I don't expect you to engage with my content. I expect you to send me a DM privately. You can, if you feel very much shame, you can send me privately a message and say, I want to get into this mentorship. You do not have to show up in person. You do not have to show up if you don't want to. Okay? But I want to let you in on a little secret. Everyone feels shame. 80% of people feel shame. And in my training earlier, I was explaining shame like this. Okay. Whoops. Shame is like, like this. It bubbles up all over the place. We live our life. We are feeling a mess. We are not quite ready yet. It bubbles up. It bubbles up. It bubbles up. Okay. This is what shame does when you're not paying attention to it, when you don't know how to work it, when you don't know what to do with it. It's going to bubble up and it's going to show up like this in your life, and it's creating messes everywhere. Okay. However, when you start fixing your mess, when you start understanding, hey, wait a minute, it's not my fault. Okay. And you start walking it free and you're starting to take small little steps and you identify, where's my problem? Okay. My problem is maybe my physical environment or my emotional environment, right? I need to fix my environment somehow. You can start taking steps. So what happens with this shame, right? You start taking steps. You are calming. You're not, maybe it's going a little bit like this. Okay. But then the more steps you take, the more it's calming down, because now you're feeling like you're making progress. Now you are like holding your shame in your hand, because you're also applying compassion with yourself, and you start understanding that 80% of people are all dealing with the same stuff. They just don't talk about it. Okay, so your shame, you're holding your shame, and instead of it going so wildly because it's like not supervised, you're now holding it in your hand, and you kind of liking it and saying, okay, it's fine. Yeah, I see you, you are here, and I'm holding you. Okay, you learn how to be with it. And that is how you eliminate some of the shame. And that is how you are able, when your system calms down and you are able to regulate your emotions, you are going to be able to build the skills that you need to be successful. It's not easy. The task itself is easy. It is not easy to control that shame monster that has been bubbling up like this, crazy, under your bed, all over the place. It's been bubbling up all over the place because of these situations being out of control in your life. That's why you feel overwhelmed. That is why you feel doubt. Okay? Your fear of rejection. See, when you are not in touch as to who you are, and loving yourself and liking yourself and being clear with what your mission is, what you're here to do with your business, what your brand is, what you want to accomplish. If you are not clear on that, and you are recognizing the fact that some people like what you have to say and some people don't. Not everyone is going to want to deal with shame, guys. Okay, I'm aware. Not everybody is going to want to deal with shame. Not everybody is going to want to transform their life and start realizing and really having the courage, because it takes a little bit of courage to say, yes, my life is a little bit of a mess. Yes, I don't have my finances where I want them to be. Yes, I feel a little bit rejected and scared when I get ghosted. Yes, it feels uncomfortable. But remember what they all say. Your success is on the other side of your comfort zone, right? So you got to get into this mess just a little bit. You got to get into this mess. You got to start understanding that you got to dive in here for this all to happen, for this all to making sense. Okay. See, comparing yourself with others. When you are in your beginning of the journey and you don't know any of these things, what's going to happen is you're going to hear your mentor say, oh, it should be easy. Just do this. Just copy and paste over here. Just send a message to one person only. Just do that. And they ignore all this other stuff that's bubbling in underneath in your life, because they don't have time to deal with your life, right? They just want you to perform certain tasks so that they can actually have an outcome. That's usually what mentors or uplines do. They just kind of tell you what to do so you can just, so you can give them results, right? Anyway, when you do that, what's going to happen is now you're comparing yourself, because, again, you know the shame and about your home and about your environment, your safety, your financial safety, and your love and belonging, feeling rejections, having maybe abandonment wounds, maybe having some trauma. Now you're comparing yourself with others. Of course, you're going to think you are not good enough. Okay. Of course, you're thinking your content is not going to be perfect. Of course, you're going to fear judgment and fear of failure because you're not good enough. And of course, you are not going to post anything, and everything goes back down to shame. Everything goes back down to shame. But I want to tell you today that shame, that shadow that you're carrying inside of you, that fear, that is going to be your winning edge. That is what's going to set you aside. That is what's going to create your story. Your mess that you've got going on right now is going to become your story. But you got to heal, and you got to regulate your nervous system. You got to connect and understand yourself. What is going on here for me? Where do I want to go? What is happening in my audience's life? What do they need from me? Okay. I was thinking the whole time, all these years, I've been in business now for 9 years, and I started realizing, like, I was running after other people. I was trying to copy and paste because I looked at the successful people, and I looked at those people, and I looked at everybody else, and I thought, oh, if I just do it like they do it, maybe that's how it's going to be for me. Maybe that's where I'm going to find success. But you know what I found? I found drainage. I found exhaustion. I found burnout. I found shame because I couldn't do it the way they did it. It wasn't me. I couldn't do it the way they did it. My life wasn't the same. I had 3 little children. I was by myself. I don't have a husband that does all the things for me. I don't have anybody that helps me with bedtime. I have no one that helps me except for my amazing friends. I do have amazing friends. You guys know who you are. I do. But, it's a give and take, right? It's a give and take. But it didn't come, like, I didn't have this in the beginning. When my kids were really little, I didn't have that. But what I did have was a lot of shame because I knew I had the desire to make more money. Well, why? Okay, let's bring it out. Why did I want to make more money? Not because I wasn't happy with who I am. Oh no, I had a financial mess. I didn't save enough money when I was younger. I didn't save in my 401k as I was supposed to be. I didn't budget the way, I was always being able to pay bills and stuff, but retirement, oh gosh, that was like way back in the future. Well, now I find myself being 50. So at some point, I started realizing, like, wait a minute, I'm getting older very fast. And somehow I don't think I'm prepared. And that shame that I didn't, like, I wasn't prepared. When my mom died of cancer, I started realizing I was like, my life is not in order. Like, she just died. She just out of the sudden had cancer, stage 4, from one day to another. And I started realizing I am not prepared. I don't even know who I am. I don't even know how I like my food. I don't know what I like, where I like to live. Do I like the ocean? Do I like the mountains? What do I like? What do I even want to do? Like, what do I need to do to have this life that I die from and say, this was a great life? At that point, when I started, I had no idea. And guess what? When I started realizing this, and this is why many of you are not even wanting to think about it, when I started realizing that I had a huge mess going on for myself, oh my gosh, the amount of shame I felt. It was craziness. And that is how I stumbled over nervous system regulation. I was trying to figure out, why wasn't I able to do the things? Why wasn't I able to? And it's because I needed to build a system that worked for me. I needed to find a system that let me function, that let me do the sales activities that I needed to do, that let me show up, let me post, let me tell you all the things right now. Okay? That is what it was. I needed to find a system that let me do those things. And then I started realizing, wait a minute, after I've gone through this transformation myself, and I started picking up self-confidence, and I started picking up self-esteem, and I started feeling good, and I started feeling like I would still remember the first full-on belly laugh that I had when I thought to myself, like, yeah, I haven't had one of those in so long, ever. Maybe I was a kid. Right? Once I started realizing that, and once I started realizing that travel was, guys, I didn't go traveling just because I wanted to travel and spend money. I went traveling because I had to prove to myself that I could do it. I had to prove to myself that I can live places, that I can make a home anywhere, that I can meet people, that I could function alone, because I was terrified losing my parents. Okay, I was still this scared little child. I had to learn how to grow myself up. I had to learn how to live, how to be, how to think of my own. I had to build an identity. And yes, it's ridiculous, right? The amount of shame that comes in when you are 40 some years old and you start realizing, like, I don't even know how I like my food. I don't know how I like steak. I don't know how I like eggs. Like, I felt like this runaway bride that doesn't know how to like her eggs. That was me. So I traveled, and I traveled because I traveled to see, do I like the ocean? Do I like the mountains? Do I like to be here or there? What temperature do I like? Do I like all the things? I did this on purpose to prove to myself I could do it, and then to travel to find out, where in the country do I feel comfortable? Do I like these things? Okay. And when I did that, see, what did I do? I cleaned up my environment, I cleaned up my safety, and I started recognizing who I belong to. And I started belonging to myself. I walked it free in the pursuit of freedom and joy and peace. And I found myself. I found myself in that process. And guess what happens? When you find yourself, when your system comes to peace, when you have energy to yourself, when you have joy, when you are someone that is whole and aligned, now it becomes easy. Now it's something that you can just do because it's you. It's not you trying to put on a persona. It is actually you. Like, I can talk to you guys. I don't have this scripted. This is not scripted anywhere. It's because it's me. Okay. I can talk to you guys this way because this is me. This is who I am. This is what I've done. And I can tell you about it. And this is the beauty about this mentorship program that I have, you can do this too, because this is something that is so different for every single one of us. And this is why uplines or bosses or sales coaches are not necessarily being able to teach you nervous system regulation first, getting your ducks in a row, becoming the one, as my mentor says, becoming the one your results requires, right? How do you become the one? Was my question back then. I heard that sentence, become the one your results require. And I'm like, yeah, I know the results that I want, but how do I become the one that my results require? How was my question all the time. And then I walked it free. And then I started realizing, and this is how you become the one your results require. You have to figure out your environment. Where am I at? What is going on for me? What is my thoughts like? What are my emotions like? Where's my shame? Like, who am I even? You got to do that for yourself. Then where do I feel insecure? What are the thoughts again? What are they making me do? When I feel scared, what is my nervous system doing? Is my nervous system shutting me down and procrastinating? Is my nervous system making me freeze so I can't move? Is my nervous system making me fight, like blaming everybody, having 55,000 excuses? What is my nervous system going to do? Okay, that is where you get in touch with yourself. And when you want to belong to other people, there was a moment when I thought, this victim mentality that I've had, right? This victim, like, nobody cares. People don't like me. I'm by myself. And then I started realizing, like, I kind of like being by myself. I kind of like myself. I actually like myself. And when you start liking yourself, now you start belonging to yourself, okay? You are not like this crazy mess anymore that goes all over the place. Now you're holding yourself. You're holding yourself nicely. And you're like this, and you're like, I kind of like myself. And see what happens when you know yourself, when you are okay with yourself, you are going to start seeing other people. And that's when my friendships started getting much better, because now I started looking at, who do I have in my life? And I sorted very rigorously out. I'm like, you are not living in accordance to my mission, vision, values. Okay. You are free to do whatever you need to do over here. I will do me here. Okay. And when you start belonging to yourself, now you can attract people that are like you. Now you can attract people that vibe with you, that are in the same energy. And guys, I cannot tell you enough that not only will it give you results for your business, because when you're feeling at peace, when you feel joy, when you feel aligned, you're going to take action because you feel good about it. You have confidence, right? And you're going to do this. And that is what it is, you guys, okay? That's what you need to do. You need to heal, you need to connect. And then when that happened, that's when you learn strategy. That's when you connect and level up, where you learn the real sales skills of what is attraction marketing, what is action marketing, how do I do this, how do I use strategy, where do I need to build a funnel, like what. In all of this, by the way, is in my mentorship, okay? All of that is in my mentorship. I teach you to identify your life, to really live it, to figure it out, build your brand, build your life, build your identity, build your relationships around you, all of that stuff. And then I help you to actually use the data that you have, and then build pipelines, build an attraction marketing pipeline, build you actually sales skills. Because guess what? Your warm market skills that you have in when your upline says it's easy, just make a list of 100, just copy and paste this message and send it to those people, or just send it to one person every day. All of that works while you're having your small friends and family circle that all make those petty purchases, right? If you're really influential, then maybe, yes, you start with your warm market and then you tap and duplicate in their warm market over and over and over. That'll be fantastic if you can do that. But the majority of you don't have that. The majority of you need to learn how to actually build sales by building a pipeline, by learning how to keep track of things. Okay, so here's the next thing. If you want to learn how to keep track of things, but here is the other side of the story, you actually have your messy environment, right? How are you going to keep track of a bunch of strangers that you want to reach out and follow through with? You cannot. What if you're starting to fear rejection because now you're talking to a stranger? You can't talk to a stranger because you are not in order here. Okay? That is the stuff I teach you. When you are regulated, now you can learn how to build a pipeline, how to keep organized with the people, how to sort them out based on your vision, mission, values, to see, not to have them salesy, manipulated into something, but actually to identify, do they vibe with me or are they off better with somebody else? Okay, that is it. And you do that without you feeling burnt out and scared and rejected or bad, because you're like, hey, that's okay. If you don't like me, I like me, right? I like me. And I'm not going to squish my shame and be like all crazy. I like me. So you like me maybe. And if you don't, then that's fine. That's how this is, guys. Okay. All right. So if this clicked with you and you want to get started with something you can download today, comment reset below. I will send you my nervous system reset guide. Okay. So you can reset your nervous system. But I tell you, my mentorship is $100 a month. It's not expensive. Last time you have spent $100 at Target, I'm sure that was probably last week. You spent $6 somewhere at Starbucks every other day, right? You spend more than $100 on clothes or shoes or whatever it is. Spend $100 on learning how to live your life, how to feel less shame, how to feel less anxiety, how to make it happen, you guys. Okay? Invest $100 a month into your personal development, into your mindset, into your environment, into your safety. And I promise you, the feeling, okay, not only will you make sales, not only will you learn how to actually build business, right? You will learn all of it. You will learn how to post. You will be able to ask questions. You will be able to come, and you don't even have to show your face. You can DM me. You can do it privately. You can watch the trainings on replay. You can do all the work in the dark room with some guidance from me. I'm also to hire one-on-one if you need more high touch. But listen, $100 a month is going to get you access to somebody that has walked this journey. And the payoff is not just you making more than the money that you're making right now. The payoff is actually you building a life that you are proud of, a life that you feel joy in, a life that is not anxious, a life that is organized, that you can actually thrive in. Do things with excellence, right? What does it mean? It's not to hustle harder. It's not to be extra special or filter this or filter that. No, excellence is being able to be present in your moment, being able to take in life, all of the life energy that you have. I always say to my kids, right? If you want to sit on the couch, that's fine, but do it with excellence. Actually sit on the couch and enjoy the movie you're watching. Don't be on the couch trying to be on your phone, like doing half-ass things, because you're not really there. Okay? The goal here is for you to live a life that you don't regret. The goal here is for you to take steps, small steps that are aligned with you getting out of shame. Okay? So you can actually live a life that you don't regret, so you can actually walk it free. All right? And that's what we do with Heal, Connect, and Level Up in our mentorship. So if you want that, DM me or comment mentorship here below, and I'll send you up that link, or the link is somewhere here, and you can just go sign up. Okay? And you can cancel at any time. There's no risk. But I tell you one thing, it's the best thing that I have done for myself, and I know you can do the same thing. All right. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.